by frame, and we have now a fuller picture of what occurred over just minutes when an initially non-violent encounter turned deadly and became yet another flashpoint in the nation's vigorous debate over immigration enforcement, the use of lethal force, and accountability. At least 3 minutes before Alex Pretti was shot and killed, he is seen at 8:58 a.m. Saturday holding his phone at a distance from immigration enforcement officers in an apparent attempt to record a nearby arrest. An eyewitness captured this video of Pretti filming the arrest. At no point does he appear to display a weapon. A minute later, Pretti appears to be using his phone to record two bystanders interacting with a federal officer before that officer is seen shoving one of them across the street. Another camera angle shows the officer shove one of those individuals into Pretti. You can see the two holding on to each other. The confrontation escalates. Both of Pretti's hands are visible. One holds the phone, the other he held up seemingly to protect himself from pepper spray. Pretti is seen being pepper sprayed. 3 officers grapple with him until he's taken down and held on the frozen pavement. Another group of officers then surrounds him. At 9:01, the federal officer in a gray jacket emerges from the scrum with a gun that appears to match the one Pretti had a permit to carry. Almost simultaneously, the first shot is fired. Officers step back. Within 5 seconds, 9 more shots, and soon after, the officer is hurt. Pretti died at the scene. Now, almost immediately, the Trump administration declared the shooting justified. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem said Pretti assaulted officers.
I wonder how many people that are ICE agents have been verified to be a member of Proud Boys or MAGA, not just random employees who were employed to be an ICE agent.
Using deadly force.
The Department of Homeland Security does have its own policy saying a federal officer should only use deadly force when there's a reasonable belief of an imminent threat.
And there were not any
once that threat
threats.
is neutralized. Even gripping or displaying a firearm is not enough, according to the DHS policy, to invoke deadly force.
Eric Katoski, thank you very much. President Trump and his administration are facing criticism for blaming the victim of this shooting, as some Republican lawmakers call for an independent investigation into what happened. Senior political correspondent Rachel Scott is at the White House. Good morning, Rachel.
George, good morning to you. And the more the administration draws their own conclusions before that full investigation, the more we are hearing Republicans speak out. Even the NRA putting out a rare statement as this morning a federal judge is blocking.
They always act as if we're not seeing with our eyes, like our eyes are not wrong.
This morning, a growing number of Republicans are joining Democrats calling for a full investigation into the killing of Alex Pretti by Border Patrol agents in Minneapolis.
What we're seeing on TV is causing deep concerns over federal tactics and accountability.
Senator Bill Cassidy calling the situation disturbing, writing the credibility of ICE and DHS are at stake. Senator Lisa Murkowski adding, ICE agents do not have carte blanche in carrying out their duties. Others taking issue with how quickly the Trump administration
all of these Republicans are pieces of shit standing by Trump and their stupid decisions to let this go on.
Homeland Security criticizing the agency, saying I'm enraged and embarrassed by DHS's lawlessness, fascism, and cruelty. But top Trump officials continue to double down. FBI Director Kash Patel suggested it is illegal to bring a gun to a protest.
You cannot bring a firearm loaded with multiple magazines to any sort of protest that you want. It's that simple.
Overnight, President Trump telling the Wall Street Journal he doesn't like any shooting, adding, quote, but I don't like it when somebody goes into a protest and he's got a very powerful, fully loaded gun with 2 magazines loaded up with bullets also. That doesn't play good either. It's a stark contrast to what many Republicans, including the president, had to say about Kyle Rittenhouse, seen here carrying an assault-style rifle
in the open,
Wisconsin in 2020, before opening fire, killing 2 men. He was acquitted on the charges. President Trump called him a very nice young man. Minnesota officials say Pretti was a lawful gun owner with a permit to carry, a right protected under the Second Amendment. Republican Congressman Thomas Massey posting, carrying a firearm is not a death sentence. It's a constitutionally protected God-given right. The NRA even speaking out, posting, responsible public voices should be awaiting a full investigation, not making generalizations and demonizing law-abiding citizens. The president's predecessors calling for it all to stop. Former President Barack Obama said the shooting should be a wake-up call to every American. And former President Bill Clinton stating, at every turn, the people in charge have lied to us, told us not to believe what we've seen with our own eyes.
Exactly.
And on Capitol Hill, Senate Democrats are now trying to take a stand, saying that they will block a Homeland Security funding bill that could lead to a partial government shutdown by the
We
end
don't
of the
give
week.
a
That could
damn.
impact TSA
Shut this
agents
bitch
and also
down.
FEMA response.